Hey there. So, a word to the wise. Haha. A couple of things here. First, this too shall pass. This is so key. First of all, if you're in your 50s, you haven't figured this out, take a breath, learn this. If you're younger and you haven't figured it out, that makes sense because it takes the overcoming of challenges enough times for a person to actually realize, oh, wait, this too shall pass. And so, yes, not everything. Some things kill us, but then that's a passage of sorts. But, oh, wow, hello, little tree. She seems happy. So this too shall pass. And, hi, Dobby. There's this idea that less is more. That's mathematically accurate because if you have less thing on your plate, then you have more time for each of those things. If you have less objects in your house that need to be cleaned, then you have more of your time available for other things. So less is more. That's a really good one. And then also patience is a virtue. So overwhelm sometimes happens because something is coming at us and we can't necessarily control that external force, and we could the question is, does that actually cause us to feel overwhelmed? I think not. I think that overwhelm is internally generated, and I'm not saying this is impatience as a sinful, badful thing, right? Badful, new word. But when we are overly, how do I put this? When we are a bit of a workaholic and we have higher expectations for ourselves than is healthy, and we want to get a week's worth of chores done in one day or two, then when we feel overwhelmed, that's something we put upon ourselves. We feel overwhelmed because we're simply asking more of ourselves than we're capable of. We're feeling overwhelmed because we want more than is possible. So the first two I've had those nailed down for a while. Also, attitude isn't everything, but attitude is powerful. Attitude matters a lot. But the overwhelm piece has really been something I've been learning really well right about now. And it's because I came home from being in South Korea where I got so much done every day, very full days, but it was what I could get done in the day. So I was accomplishing a lot, aware of what I was accomplishing, and feeling really good about it. But at the same time, because my goals were in the moment, I wasn't actually in a situation where I would be expecting more than what was possible in that day. Now, some people go on a trip and they're like, I'm going to go see 5 museums today. And then they're exhausted and miserable at the end of the day, and they're frazzled and all those things. Because if you had gone to one museum and then just sort of meandered wherever life took you and sat down at a park and had some lunch, you would have had a better day. That's one thing. But I came home and I did this thing that I've been doing for a long time, because when I was a homemaker with young children, homeschooling them and taking care of everything, not only did I have a lot to do, but I also had this idea that because I wasn't bringing home a paycheck, I was not enough. I wasn't doing enough. And so I had to prove that I had worth and value by getting so much done that when a person would look at me and think she has no value because she brought home no paycheck, they would look around and go, oh, but I guess she did enough today because, she watered the garden and she homeschooled the kids and she went shopping, she paid the bills, she made dinner, she made a cake for the birthday party tomorrow, and she did 5 other things at the same time. So I would sort of burn myself out by trying to do a lot. And I was also young and healthy and have a personality to get a lot done. So I would get a lot of things done, and usually I'd be okay. But I did give myself adrenal fatigue when I was 35 years old. Thankfully, an early version that my chiropractor caught really fast, and I corrected my behavior, but it took 2 years to fully really recover from that. And so now I'm 52. I came home. The divorce has gone through, and I've got, like, I come home and I immediately want to, like, immediately have everything unpacked. And I'm like, oh, I got to clean the house because it was a disaster. I cleaned it before I left. But being gone 5 weeks, it got bad. And then I'm like, oh, I have to clean the chicken coops. And, oh, I have to catch up on watering the garden. Oh, and I have to do this. Oh, and guess what? I really need to pack these things up, and I need to paint this room, and I need to advertise this room, and da-da-da-da. And so my instinct was like, I need to do it all now. Well, no. First of all, I can't do it all now. Trying to do it all now is going to make me exhausted and sick. So instead, I'm like, okay, I got to slow down. I'm going to today. We just got through Strawberry Festival, which I did totally want to be completely available to my son for that. And so I've got all these things. What do you do to avoid overwhelm? You say, okay, I'm going to write down all of these things that I want to get done. And then I'm going to look at my calendar and figure out when am I committed to other people and how many days are available. And I'm going to realistically, like a project manager, be like, what can I get done here and what can I get done here? And okay, fine, it's going to take me 6 weeks to get all these things done, or 4.5 weeks. And once I have that written out, I'll be like, okay, overwhelm managed. Now I just get up and I'm like, yep, this is what I'm doing today. And I'm not overwhelmed because those things that are in the back of my mind, they're not in the back of my mind. They're on a piece of paper. And it's like, oh, I know it's going to take that long. So then you relax and you take a deep breath and you're like, oh, this is great. It's all going to get done. It'll take 6 weeks to get there. But the overwhelm comes from a little bit of a frenetic, sort of panicky, frantic sense of somehow you think it's not going to all get done and you're wanting to rush around and you're like on the tips of your toes and you're in a hurry. It's like, no. Just write it down and realistically plan it out and put in a few rest days, because you know there's some other things that'll come up and they'll get put into those rest days, and just be like, okay, I'm chilling and it will get done. And that's sort of the antidote to overwhelm. That's how we conquer and relax and let go of and come back into a high rooster, a really good space. So, yes, overwhelm is what happens when you try to do too much in too little time. There, that's my little saying for it. And here's the rooster, and if no one gives him a home, I'm going to eat him. Hi, buddy. Which would be really sad because he's actually a very cool rooster. Hi, Mr. Man. Super cool dude. But I cannot keep the rooster. Hi. Okay. If you live on Vashon, please, if you have a good home, give my rooster a home. He's really cool. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye.